Hello everybody, it's Jeanette Wilde. So this was actually my April design team project. However, I have been having the world's worst time with my camera and my microphone. Things were coming out pretty crappy. So what with the mail issues, it took me a while to get all the pieces that we need, and then we got something that really didn't work, and it's just been a nightmare. So anyway, sorry this has been a while coming. So this is my April project and using Luise Heinzl's butterfly flowers. And well, before I open that up, so I like to 3D up images. So here on the cover, I don't know if you can see that, maybe if I tip it that way, I 3D'd up these little flowers and the little butterfly. So in real life it just gives a little bit of something there to add. These are some sari silk ribbons, and I just wrapped them around, and they're anchored in the back with another of the, this is, I think this is one of the journal cards from the kit, and it's just some of my scrapbook paper behind it. The book is just some chipboard, and then I've covered it with this fabric, so it's fabric covered chipboard. So I will open this up, and of course I'll have put it into a knot that I'm going to have trouble undoing because such is my life. There we go. And I did, this is sari silk, I did iron it. Sometimes I like to see, you know, I think it looks nice ironed, and sometimes I like it all wrinkled up. All right, here we go. So there's some scrapbook paper in here. I also have a bunch of envelopes and stuff from my stash, ribbons, lace, lots of stuff. So here in the front, I used one of the pockets for the tag. Oop. And I used a different binding method than I usually do. Ordinarily, I would create the book, and then if I want to have the stitches hidden, I would stitch it into a plate or some cardstock or something like that that goes over the folds, and then tuck it into the folds on each side, and then cover that piece of paper up with the cardstock. Tried something different with this. This is actually another piece of chipboard behind here, and it's just the width of the spine. So there's like almost like two spines here, and it's just a tiny bit smaller than the spine. So I stitched into that and then glued that into there. So this was a new try. So this, the lace on this side and the other side is kind of hiding that space that was created between the two. So haven't decided if I like it, but it's worked. So as a binding method, it works. So this is a card. It's a one little flip out card, and I just used one of so they're butterfly and flower. She split them up into a number of different kits, and you can get one kit with just fussy cut butterflies. Love it. So that's one of the, and I just used a magnet to hold that there. Scrapbook paper. And here we have, this is actually a tuck, and you'll see me use it a different way later in the book, but here I just like to kind of accent this little piece. This is actually one of the pockets. I just put this over it. Some scrapbook paper with some of the paper from the kit, and I have these wonderful little outline stickers and a bunch of bugs. So I don't know if you can, it's not there because it's just an outline of a little bug. And the paper in here is primarily dyed with alcohol ink. There is some, I think this one is maybe egg dye. I think this is an egg dye page. But mostly the papers, besides the ones from the kit, are alcohol ink. And I just put it in water, and you actually get this granular effect that looks like coffee. To me. I don't like coffee because of the acidity in it, so I like to do mine with inks. Here is a stamp, and what I like to do is, and you can, I don't know if you can see it on the butterfly, but his little antennae are accented and his little body has a little gleam to it and then little dots on him. I like to go over with my, excuse me, my Sakura glaze pens, just add little accents to things. And so here I used the white glaze pen and went over all the little leaves. I think just adds a little something rather than just being a plain color. Sometimes I like to 3D up the different I didn't do much to these pages, just they were so pretty. I didn't want to do anything to them. Did use quite a bit of washi tape. I was recently, getting ready to move, so I'm putting things together, and I just realized that I have been hoarding my washi tape, and I've got 5 boxes of them. So, time to not hoard. So, this was one of my goals. Use my washi tape. Use it. So, I used quite a bit of washi tape in this. I think it went really beautiful with everything, and the colors just really go together. Yeah, this is definitely not Kool-Aid, egg dye pages. And in the kit, you have these banners. I just mimicked it with some scrapbook paper, and you can see this is the one of the background papers from the kit. And I covered all of the strings on the inside with some of the fussy cut little butterflies. And then over here, we have a double pocket made with one of the little triangle tucks in the kit, and then I just mimicked it with some scrapbook paper. And this is, I think, one of the journal cards or belly band, however you want to use it, but I used it on this scrapbook paper, which I backed with some of the design paper, and one of the little tags. And you may hear occasionally my cat in the background moaning. Sleeping, and so she's making little happy sounds. I have a set of these really great German stamps, and they have these wonderful little sayings. And this one's about the wonder of the garden, so I just thought they went really well with the book. And I have this is a border stamp, so it's just a strip, and I just stamped it to make a nice little frame. And I don't know if you can see that. I filled in again the little leaves with my Sakura glaze and one of the fussy cut butterflies. These little sayings here, these are stickers for my stash, so that's not, but did a lot of stenciling as well. See, tried to use up my washi tape. And again, this is another stamp where I used the glaze pen. Pretty much used the glaze pen. It's all over the place in this book. And a little journal card. Another tuck. This time I went over and I should always test how the color is going to come out because it's a lot brighter. Little German stamp for one of the little tags. And this is one of the belly bands. I just made it into a little pocket for scrapbook page journal card. Nice little. Loved all of these really great fussy cut butterflies. Butterflies. There we go. That's what they are. They're whatever. Anyway, and a couple of the triangles. These are the plain triangles, and then I took a couple of the fussy cut butterfly. But there I can, you know what, I'm just going to call them bugs. And again, I went over with the glaze pen. That holds a couple of the tags. So this was what I was saying here from the front. So this is the same little piece. And this is how you can use it on your page as a wonderful way of tucking in a tag. And this is a tag from another of her kits. I'll have a link down below. I think it's like children, flowers. Should have written that down. But I'll have the link down below. And little fussy cut butterflies are so cute. lots of room to journal in this one. And then another of the little triangle tucks, and I just again mimicked it with another piece of cardstock for the journal card. And then I had been ripping off, you know, pieces to make little items around, and so I had this piece left, and I thought first I was going to cut it across because my mind always goes in that you make it perfect, but I realized, you know, it's perfect like that. It looks really pretty that way. Little stamp. This is one of the Fussy Cut butterflies. Just added him on like he's hanging onto the little leaf. And then this butterfly is used to hold this in, so you get a little more journaling space. Pocket. And this is some, I have a number of books from the 1800s to early 1900s, so a lot of little images throughout here were from those books. And this is just one of the offcuts from scrapbook paper, just folded it to make a nice little journal card. And then this was something I decided to try for this book. I don't know why, but whenever I do something with Luise Heinzl's, it always inspires me to just try brand new things that I've never tried before. So I had seen some tutorials on making these little inserts out of manila folders. Now, I came to find out that there are the same tutorial by tons of people. I have no idea who would be the numero uno who came up with it. So I'm just going to say, do a search on YouTube if you want to make these little manila folder inserts on manila folder inserts. You will find tons. And I did kind of sort of follow it and sort of not, and this makes a nice, there's a nice pocket here. I don't have anything in there. It opens up, and then each side opens up, and you can see this is stitched in. So this is just one signature all by itself, this little insert. So on this side, I used all the different offcuts that I had left over from the book. So I waited until I finished the whole book, and then just made this little pad of paper from all the little bits that were left over. This is actually underneath there. It's the top of, or actually it's something you put over a ring binder. And I just cut it off. Makes a nice little thing to hold. On this side is pocket for another of the tags. On the inside, went with symmetry, so they're basically the same on each side, just different pictures. And again, these are some of the photos, or the pictures from some of those old books. And it's just kind of a shiny envelope. Flips out, and inside is, this is just some of the designer paper that I had left over and made it into a little journal card. And the book where I took this picture had the description of what the picture was underneath, so I just added that here. And we have a little journal card from the scraps of paper. Same journal card there. And then here, again, another of the images. And then there was 2 pieces to its description. So there's that side. So, and then on the back on this one is just another pocket and another tag. Those little bugs. So again, manila folder insert. You'll find tons of different tutorials on how to do those. I did 2 different ones, so there's 2 in this book. Another stamp. Sorry about that. Radiator. A little journal card. I loved using those butterflies. And again, this is one of the German stamps. The little saying, love of, I'm trying to read upside down, it's not happening. And again, use my glaze pens to highlight. And pocket, for journal cards, just another of the offcuts. And then this is some scrapbook paper and made into a little pocket for another journal card. It's just some scrapbook paper and some leftover bits and washi tape. I like to go back and use all my leftover bits. That's how I finish my book and then use the leftover bits to make journal cards and waste not, want not. And here we have a double tuck. So we got a little pocket, and then this is one of the belly bands. I used it for a little tag that slides in there. And again, one of the pictures from the book, and just on a piece of scrapbook paper. I love these banners. You can put these down, so this I've glued all the way to the page, but you can just glue the top, staple it, however you want to do it, stitch it in, and then you can use that as a tuck. So they make great tucks. And again, another border stamp, and I just stamped it around into a frame, and then glaze pinned it. Another piece of scrap paper. Bugs are everywhere. Anyways, this is the other insert. This one's real simple. It's again another manila folder, and this time all I did was add in some grid paper for a little notebook. So in the middle of the book you have even more places to write. And again, another pocket for another journal card. So now this is actually two-sided, and one of the banners, and then I just mimicked the banner with the scrapbook paper, one of the fussy cut butterflies on each side. And this one's magnet. So there's a magnet that holds it shut. And what you can do with that is put it over your page, and then that becomes a tuck as well. So you can, it will nicely hold a card. You can use that as a tuck. So you don't have to glue it. You can wrap it over and use a magnet or a paper clip. Put a paper clip. There's my stamps. And then here is another of the belly bands for one of the journal cards. And scrapbook paper with another of the little pieces. And this is kind of the same concept. This is one of the envelopes from the kit. I added some pieces that I tore or cut from the different pages, and one of the fussy cut butterflies, and another one here. And again, that is held with a magnet. So the magnet's actually on this side being held under that butterfly. And again, same thing. It holds it nicely onto the page. But on this side, you can use the power of the magnet to tuck something underneath there. And again, you can do that with a paper clip as well. I just really like magnets. I really went to town with the fussy cut butterflies. And here we have some scrapbook paper, one of the fussy cut butterflies made into a little belly band for another journal card. One of the corner tucks for a little tag. And this guy is a little envelope, and again, magnetized. Little cute little envelope, but he opens up for a journal spot. And I want to credit who I got this from, but I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was Paper Outpost, but I don't quite remember. So not trying to, I don't remember. And I tried to look it up, but I couldn't find it. So if you know, feel free to leave that in the comments. And a couple of tucks made from some scrapbook paper for a tag and one of the journal cards. or scrapbook paper. Again, fussy cut little. I'm one of those people who love to fussy cut, so I found this kit really enjoyable because it gave me lots of opportunities for fussy cutting. I just sit and watch TV and fussy cut. Yeah. Some people have interesting hobbies. Mine is fussy cutting. So another one of those great German sentiments. And again, I went through and used my glaze pen over it. Just adds a little something. It's real shiny, and the glaze pen adds the tiniest bit of a raise. So in real life, it just adds a little something extra. Here we got another pocket. Some ledger paper to write on for one of the tags. And on this side, one of the little strips for a tuck. And then here I've used the butterfly to tuck that little piece in, so leave more journal space. Pour stamp again. I like doing that. Oops. And then on the back again, mimicking, I like things symmetrical. So mimicked here on the back for a little tag. And again, the lace to cover the little seam that I put with how I bound that. So that is my Butterfly Flowers journal for Luise Heinzl. I will have all the links down below to the kit. And if you have questions, leave them in the comments. And if by any chance this sounds terrible on your computer, please let me know, because I'm doing my best to find what will work, and it's hard because my computer is terrible. So my monitor is really terrible, and the sound is nothing. So I can't tell. So please let me know. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.